So going back to like decriminalization, if you take that cord out of it, so say a law enforcement officer pulled you over and say you had like a roach or something in your ashtray, even though I don't think cars even have ashtrays anymore, but like, so.
Also, no one calls them roaches anymore, Rich.
Exactly, okay. All right. Well, yeah, so you have your pen. Your pen's in the console. It's not a roach in the ashtray anymore. It's a pen in the console. So your pen's in the console. And so pretty much when the officer would say, they'd know that, it was THC infused. And so pretty much, you're not even supposed to call it marijuana because that's a racist term, so you call it cannabis.
Oh, wow.
And so...
Hold on. Why?
I didn't know that.
Because it's basically, the word was invented to put into the Hispanic culture and to freak out white people. And so it's always been called cannabis. And so it's basically your marketing. You're always supposed to say cannabis instead of marijuana because marijuana is an archaic racist term.
So this is interesting because I've done a little bit of the history on the legalization of marijuana. Marijuana used to be legal up until the 50s, right?
I think the 30s is when all that prohibition crap with alcohol and everything, and that's where the whole racial shit came into.
Yeah,
and certain drug types were associated with certain demographic groups
because they were saying like the whole thing was remember those videos. If you want to laugh your ass off, go back and watch like the anti-marijuana propaganda videos. Oh, they're so funny. I mean, it's like I saw one, I'm not kidding, it was two naked people. And it was like a man and a woman, and like a man was like blowing like a windy tuba into like a woman's butthole. And it was like, this is not a normal act unless you're on marijuana. And it's like, whoa. Like I agree with what George Carlin said, because it's funny that alcohol's legal but marijuana's not, right? Because he's like when people drink, we all know there are people who get belligerent, there are people who get violent, you get behind the wheel of a car and things get dangerous. George Carlin was like, you know what happens when you like smoke weed is you get in your basement, you eat Cheetos, and you harm nobody. You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
Like you show me a guy in his mother's basement eating Cheetos, and I'll show you someone who's causing no harm to anybody. But they did a big, huge propaganda push to make it illegal. And you're saying that the term marijuana, they specifically used a Hispanic term.
A Hispanic sounding, like the lexicon, the vernacular.
Really?
So they developed a word that would sound like it was Hispanic to put that into the vernacular of American conscience.
Pastor, can I talk?